Hello, welcome to Life Hacks for people with Morgellons and targeted individuals. And these life hacks, I'm going to be referring to my notes because I don't want to miss anything. This is the basics. This is information packed, and you should find a valuable amount of information in this video. So I'm going to start with energy cannot be created or destroyed. We know that, right? So energy has to transfer somewhere. Nanotechnology is being used to fuel this stuff that's going on. Morgellons is a large part of it is nano. The other part is black goo associated. The nano can encapsulate one atom of a molecule, and it can change into anything, which is why such strange things sometimes come out of that fake skin layer that it builds. The nano is used to extract black goo from the earth. That is the ultimate purpose. They use black goo in supercomputers around the world. Harold Kotzvella discusses this a lot. He's a valuable source. You can find him on YouTube. He has a lot about Morgellons, about targeting, about the whole thing. He's a hardcore scientist, been studying it for 25 years, and he has a highly spiritual side. That's how he puts it. But he is a wealth of information. Clifford Carnicombe is also studying Morgellons disease, and he has talked about how many Morgellons sufferers tell him they feel like they're being watched all the time. That is because targeting is involved. And that is why no matter what we do, sometimes we feel like our home is making us sick, because no matter what you do, if things are set up wrong, the nano's coming in, it's infecting you. And then they're mixing it with the black goo, and they're making evil entities. And seriously, this is what's happening. And it enters through footwear is a big thing, things like that. So there's so much to go over and so much to talk about and so much information. I'm going to touch on the basics of it as much as I can. I'll be using the term pull, and pull means that it pulls the nano out of you. You can feel the energy. You can feel the item pulling the energy out of you. None of this is created to make you afraid. Please lose your fear in them. We are light bringers. That's typically probably why we're targeted, or why we are infected with Morgellons disease. And most likely you have some degree of both of them. So as a light bringer, darkness always flutters in the light. We got to remember that. So a lot of times when I'm having a hard time, because as a targeted person, they'll make it known, and they'll hit you hard, and it's when you're alone and then they're all around you. You start singing a happy song and they just disappear. Or you can pull out your phone, start recording them. When I was being gang stalked heavily, I would pull out my phone and just leave it on record in my bag in the cart, and it helped to make it so that I could actually shop and I wasn't cornered and ended up leaving the store early or enduring a lot of suffering because I stayed in the store too long, because they do shoot things at you with light and other means, and you can actually feel it hit you, and it'll make you swell in some areas. That's the Morgellons part, because they're using the same things for the targeting and the Morgellons. Okay, so it's really one and the same, but some of us are hit harder with one or the other. Some of us are targeted at a level where they don't want us to discover it. They're just targeting, they're observing and viewing everything. And when you say what is she talking about? There's a video by Kevin Shipp on YouTube. He was worked with the CIA and the shadow government, and he describes all the different parts of shadow government, how it's funded, how it works, that's unscrupulous, works on fear, that they break into homes and violate laws. So these are good sources to check out. Gaia is a great channel, and it has a wealth of information too. And as far as targeting and like the whole picture goes, I believe David Icke has it. I do believe that he was told he was here to help people. He's made it his life's work, and he has a wealth of information too. Even if the reptilian part's too much for you, there's a wealth of information there that talks about what's going on. And he's gone around the world and dedicated his life to studying and talking to people and learning. Anyway, so let's see. We're going to start with So yeah, the energy can't be created or destroyed. So it's coming in. The nano's coming in. It's coming from the people passing by with their vehicles. It's coming from the street lights. Sometimes they can be controlled remotely. I don't know if you've seen those big tan boxes on the corner. They have a bar and then they have like a siren looking thing on top. Those people can remote in and control it with. And I know this for sure because I've removed them before and it's made all the street lights go out. But sometimes when I'm below street lights, I'll make them flicker because I've got so much nano coming off of me. Some of them do draw, especially like at elementary schools. And that's the way you have to think of this. Okay, so I know that all of you might not be on board with this is caused by targeting, or all of the targeters might not think that they have a degree of Morgellons. But if you think of it that way, then you think, okay, well, they've got people obviously working with them that are doing this targeting, and they can't let all these people get sick, and they can't let the general public get sick. So obviously not everything can be infected with it. So when you think that way, baby items are great. They're always free of all the stuff that causes it, and they're usually in packaging or made of things that keeps them from becoming infected. So like, for instance, I have a thing I pour over my head in the bathtub that it pulls all the stuff out of the water, and it's amazing. So even if you don't fully grasp the whole concept of this targeting part being involved, and that this would happen, and believe me, I was there. I didn't want to believe that this would happen and that the world would ever come to this, or that humanity would be lost. It still surprises me a lot of times because there are actually quite a few of them, but they also make us be surrounded by them. So you got to remember, my mom believes me, and my mom, she says she doesn't see that side of things like I do, because it's different when they're trying to make you see it and they're trying to surround your life with those people. That being said, if you might be on the fence and questioning that you're targeted, what I really recommend is that you, if you have somebody close to you that you think might be doing it, or when they go to the bathroom, put their shoes on, put their coat on, try on some of their clothes, seriously, because they will make you feel so relieved. Every time I've had a targeter, which is often probably 12 plus times, that has come directly into my life, either staying next door because I have a rental unit because I own my duplex, or staying with me, living with me. I have kept some of the super pulling items that helped me heal. I figure they were there to make me sick. I'm going to take what I need to make myself healthy. And the funny part is, they never say anything. It's like it didn't even happen. And we play this silent game where they put out infectious stuff around the house. I'd go clean it up, and then they'd come and do it again. And I'd clean it up and throw it away. And they never say anything about the items that they leave that are infectious. I mean, it's very obvious that this is it's an unspoken, stupid game. And to them, it's a game. And we are the target. And it's pretty effed up. So I studied and studied and studied them, and I have learned so much relief. I've learned how to I don't have much fluid in me. I don't have hardly any sounds in my head at all anymore. I don't have, as far as the physical symptoms go, I have hardly any. It tries to rebuild all the time because it's constantly trying to be put in my environment. And there is always to some extent in the environment. It's dropped in the chemtrails, it's put there by these people. It's reabsorbed with like grounding. Grounding is excellent. Although grounding in front of your house sometimes isn't, because if targeted and have Morgellons, it's most likely infected in your yard. Like right now, I'm being hit with something. I assume my tenant's next door because he's targeting me. And right now, see, I'm getting all flush and red. So that's the targeting part of it. I can feel it and see the veins at the top of my forehead. Those are the Morgellons veins that feed the stuff in my head. So what I would do now, feeling like I'm being attacked, just for instance, like these bath hats are great. I got them at Safeway. Safeway is a great store for getting stuff. And it actually will pull the nano and the black goo part of it out. And I don't know if you saw that little fog that I saw, but I can see the energies too now. I've studied it so clearly. I can see it really well. And I'm going to leave this on during the video, and I bet you by the end when I take it off, my hairline will have come back a little bit. And anyway, so I did shave my head because I most recently had a huge attack where everything was culminated and it attacked me from every level. My home was so infected, I walked in and felt like I was being electrocuted. There was a fog in the air, a dust. It made me have a hard time breathing. I had to get rid of everything pretty much and start fresh. This last attack taught me the very rest of what I wanted to learn before I started doing this channel. I've known for a long time I needed to do this channel. The universe keeps nudging me to do it. And so it's time. So anyway, like this is going to pull the energy out of my scalp and help untwist things like that. There is so much involved. One of the big things that you can use to help yourself is your phone, because it sees the frequencies. It has a different frequency than we do, and it runs on similar frequencies that the nanotech does and stuff. So we have these nice phones with these nice cameras, and you zoom in on things, and if they're blurry and foggy and it looks like on a really hot day out in the desert, how you can see the heat coming off of things, that's what it'll look like when you zoom in on something that's infected with nano, or when nano's coming in or coming out. And then if you record long enough, or even just have it on the camera long enough, you'll start to see like little black things and stuff that aren't even visible to the naked eye, that are visible on the camera. So that's how I can tell which way something's going sometimes when I'm questioning it, or if I'm questioning if something's infectious, the camera will tell all. So the camera is a very good tool to use to your advantage, okay? Likewise, cases for your camera will help to make it not hurt your hands and stuff as much. The screen protectors, some of them are made to, you want to get one that has hexagons all over the packaging coming to that will tell you a lot about what's in the product, as well as the directions telling you exactly how to use it so that it doesn't infect. For instance, arrows on packaging. This is the one example I had that was really easy. See how this eyelash adhesive shows the nano coming out of the eyelashes, the energy coming out. Arrows on packages are extremely significant. You'd be surprised when you get to the depths of it, because I even have a job that has a lot to do with it, and I'm learning from it. I can't share that stuff right now because I can't disclose the company, but it's extremely involved, and it's been going on for a very, very long time, and that is, everything is significant. Shapes, colors, all of it's significant. So I have on here zip ties added. For instance, like if like I was washing the dishes earlier, and a couple of my silicone dishware items, and silicone stuff is great. It doesn't get infected, and it pulls out the black goo part, which is excellent. Like those ice cubes that are plastic, silicone ones, they will pull that black stuff into them and out of your drink. Those are a good cheap place to start to help to keep your liquids uninfected, is with those ice cubes, and also with like these straws. These straws, anything with the silicone on it, these Color-Aid straws. Color-Aid is an excellent brand. Most of their stuff is amazing at uninfecting things. So this would like pull the purple color nano out of it. This will pull the green color nano out of it. Yes, they have different nanos that they've mixed with the black goo somehow, and it has created a number of different evil things that they're doing in evil ways. Moving things around your home, for instance. I've thrown things away and literally gone back to the sink, and it's in my sink water. So anyway, if you have a basic metal one, just make sure that it's pulling the energy out. So sometimes it'll feel, I feel energies really heavily. So after this last attack, now I can touch anything and I can feel if it's infectious or not because my fingertips go numb. So it's gotten a lot different for me than it ever has been before. But like if you're, say, at a convenience store and getting a coffee and you put 3 coffee straws in it. Now I watched this from my boss and copied what she did because I'm very, very much targeted at work and it's very obvious. And we have this unspoken stupid game. Anyway, the 3 straws. So you want to put 3 of something in it to help uninfect it. Now, as far as like stickers on things, okay, so you get products with stickers, like your computer with the nice shiny little, telling you what Intel inside or whatever. You want to pull all those off. Those significantly can infect your computer. They don't do this necessarily to normal people, but they can to other people. I mean, there was a joke on the Tonight Show. He was saying, "Oh, smart refrigerators, like the government needs to know when we eat and what we eat." It's a lot more smart for a lot more reasons than that. But, comedians will throw things in to help you see the truth. There's a lot of music that talks about the truth too. Musicians have known for a long time. And I mean, you'll see it in a lot of music that is out there. Anyway, so things that can help to pull it out of the skin. This is one of my favorites. As you see it, I don't know if you'll be able to see in the light, it attracts hairs to it. So as a Morgellons person, if I have an area that's breaking down, it'll pull out. Oh, there's a long one there. I don't know if I can pull it out and show you, but I just used it on my skin and I don't have any long hairs like this. It's pretty long hair, as you can kind of see in some areas. And it's just attracted to it. It'll pull it right out of your skin and wrap around it. Sometimes even go on the back side of it. This is an amazing glove. Again, that silicone material. I love this. And this one pulls out more of the black goo hairs. And the black goo is the essence of Mother Earth. It's amazing and loving when it's where it's supposed to be in the earth. My duplex, like I said, they've been trying to attack my crawl space, and they'll put like the insulation that I removed, they'll put it back down there. They'll, things that I know that are attacking it. Like I said, we're going to get into a lot more throughout these episodes, but the black goo, at one point there was a hole in my crawl space that was like 6 foot deep and 6 foot wide, and I went down to the bottom of it and it was really dusty, and that was when I knew that rocks helped pull, which most rocks do, Mother Nature's rocks, but then they do turn, and they turn into what we call the Borgs. You can check out this excellent video source called Borg Spots in Humans, circa 2025, the future strategic warfare. It was written by NASA. It's a PowerPoint in 2001, and it discusses everything that's happening pretty much. Putting nanotags on everything, having a disease come out, attacking the lower class, obliterating 80% of the population because there's not enough resources. That one's pretty clear on, what their plan is. And like Kevin Shipp says, they get billions in funding and they don't have any transparency. We don't know what they're spending their money on. They're the CIA. It's not all the CIA. It's a military, I can't remember the name of it, but he talks about it in the video. But anyway, it's a part of many different organizations that NASA, the FBI. He says only like half of the FBI is bad, though. The NSA, things like that. They have the shadow government, which is the unelected government, the government that they choose themselves. A lot of the elected government is not corrupt yet, or they don't necessarily know everything that's going on. It's not the government that we elect. This is the unelected government. Although our president, is kind of already chosen for us because Republican or Democrat, it's still proceeding with the plan because they have the Bilderberg Group, and if you look up Bilderberg Group, you'll learn a lot about that. And the Bilderberg Group usually has the next president at it. But anyway, back to things and such. So another thing that this one pulls out black goo and stuff. This one's excellent, the magic eraser sponge. Don't use it too heavily on your skin because it will abrade your skin, but you can even just set it on an area and it'll suck stuff out, like break off a piece and put it in your ear if your ear's hurting or your head's really clogged or you have a lot of buzzing in your head, and you'll actually hear it hitting the sponge. Targeted individuals, you can do this too. You're going to get relief out of this stuff too, and you're going to be surprised. These Scotch-Brite sponges, these are amazing. They are hexagon shaped, and so the nano part's attracted to it. So the sponge part pulls out the nano hairs. The scrubby part pulls out a little bit of both. So you can hold the scrubby part against your skin. It'll pull out a little bit of both. The nano part's just going to pull out the nano, though, and leave behind the black goo without the nano. So like I said, the nano engulfs the black goo, mixes with it, and turns into a third entity that it's a mix of the two. Borgs is the term that they like to use for it, so, hence the NASA report, right? Okay, so likewise, shapes on things will do stuff. That's why you'll see on my top of my hat a hexagon with an X in the middle. That means do not go in, only come out, because it's on the outside. Now, if I had it on the inside, it would mean only go in, do not come out. So, you know, it matters what side you put these things on too. Okay, so I had written on a sheet here, for instance, lines matter, okay? So 2 parallel lines in front of, say, your fence or yard means don't go to that house. And sometimes you'll see it in houses around you, or a line like this angled towards your house, which means go to that house. And 2 vertical lines mean go to that house. Now, likewise, every even number is going to mean go to that house, and every odd number is going to mean bypass it. So like if it was, say, 3 lines vertically, it would mean don't go to that house, but 2 lines and 4 lines would mean go to that house. Okay, likewise, if it was 3 horizontal lines, it would mean go to that house, whereas 2 and 4 mean don't go to that house. You can rewind that if that was confusing, but it will make sense eventually. For instance, I did, this is the house right here. Good. You see how it has 2 parallel lines in front of it. Like here's the street and the house. I'm not an artist, but these parallel lines, you want them to be near the street side of it, because if it's against the house, then it means don't come out of the house. Okay, I made that mistake. Okay, because it's telling it don't go this way. So if you have it against the house, it's telling it don't go that way, right? Okay, now the 2 vertical lines mean go to that house, go to that house. Now, but if the 2 vertical lines are against the house, it means come from the house, come from the house. You see what I'm saying? Okay, and then if I was to add a line to, say, here we'll add a line to each one. Okay, so now we have 3 lines here. So this is odd numbers. So now it means instead of don't go to it, because 2 parallel lines meant don't go, now it means go to that house. Okay, now this one means, because 2 vertical lines meant don't go to it, now this means go to that house. Now these lines can be in the form of, say, 3 metal bars, 3 sticks, 3, anything that you see that's obviously in a line, and that it matters. It really does. And if you just take one of them away, it'll say don't go. Or if you add one, but see, that's the whole thing. They're going to make it that the way that it was, or they're going to make it so that it doesn't work, especially if it's outside of your fence, really quickly right after you do it, and aren't paying attention. So security cameras aren't going to help. They get into those, interfere those, and they use those to their advantage. I know that because I had a tenant next door who was targeting me that was on heroin, and I saw him nodding out on the porch, so I was watching, and then all of a sudden the garbage can's out on the street, but there was no video of it being pushed out to the street. And then I had one video of him coming back from my shed, but I never had one of him going to the shed. And then I had the camera flash out at some other points, and long story short, he wanted his stuff back. I locked him out because of the heroin use. He never paid me. And I said, well, if you pay me, you can get your stuff back. And then he said, I don't have any money. He called me. I need my stuff. I don't have anything. And I said, well, if you write me a confession letter of what you were doing, then I will. And he actually did. And he talked about installing RF device, interfering devices in the cameras so they could be remoted in at any time. He talked about installing things in my outlets, things like that. Outlets, coming to that. Okay, electricity. Electricity is used against us a lot of times. And I figured one of the ways that I started figuring this out was because when I was up in my attic, there was a copper bar next to my electrical wires that had an arrow pointing toward my electrical box. And I'm going, why is this here? And that's when I figured out arrows. So I did arrows pointing out on the wires in the house, and I just shut off a lot of the breakers, and I used one string of LED colored lights, because LED lights can pull and are good unless they infect it by putting either a zip tie on the outside of the cord. If you see zip ties, cut them off. The caution cords, the warning cords, typically they'll have like an X over something, like don't do this, or like then do this, or like it'll typically tell you exactly how it's telling the nano to attack you sometimes, or the red color, the red hexagon, things like that. You just cut those off. It will save you a lot. You don't want labels and stuff on things. I'm telling you, they infect those. It pulls the nano into the device. I pull all labels and stuff off, especially your water heater, things like that. But with the electricity, so the grounding is important with electricity. And what I found is that when I went to replace my outlets, all of my ground wires had been removed from my outlets. So you can get one of those simple plugs that you plug in, and it'll tell you if it's grounded properly. You can check your outlets that way. Since I reconnected my ground wires, they've been disconnected at different times. And I'm not saying they always come into your house after you leave. They do a lot of times, but and they have flashlights and things they can shine at stuff. The nano's doing most of the work for them. It's programmed matter is all it is. It's set to a program. If you think about it on a microscopic level, these are just like little, they can take that atom and move it. And if you take a couple atoms and move them, everything's made of the same basic elements, then it changes what it is. So you can change matter, therefore making it a fluid world, which is what transhumanism wants, and I mean, it's pretty explainable in a basic way when you think of it scientifically. It's like, oh, okay, it's not like magic, it's just science, okay? And so it'd be like us having a tree fort and taking the wood from it and building and gathering other wood and building a log cabin instead, right? They're just taking atoms and adding other elements and changing it. And then instead of having that natural bond in between it, it's the nanobots with that atom encapsulated in it attached to each other. So it's made of it so that they can change, see, okay? So if you get the nano out, then it only leaves the molecules behind, or the atoms behind, and so then it just stays as matter in its original form. And we can get the nano out. Lights are another big one that can get the nano out. The Milwaukee light is amazing. This light is so healing, and it makes things come out of my skin. Like I can feel my skin tightening right now when I shine it on there. This one is, it has two different, you wouldn't even know it has two different settings, but it does, because when I go to flip it off, it'll go back on sometimes because it's going to the second setting. One pulls the nano and one pulls the black stuff. So, if you're getting better with using a lot of things that are helping with the nano but not fully getting better, most likely it's because you're not getting that black goo out, which is the more insidious, harder stuff to get out, because it doesn't belong in our bodies. It belongs in the earth. That's where it's happy, that's where its home is, and now it's been mixed and turned evil and changed. And so, but when we suck the nano out of it completely, like if we were to figure out a great way to suck nano out of our body when we have hardly any nano left, and we're feeling that relief, and oh my gosh, and inflammation's going down and nanofluid's going down, because it's that fake layer of skin that they make over our skin, and underneath it they make these fake veins, and that's what the black stuff travels through, and that's what ties up our hair, is the black stuff, right? So those I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. Anyway, so the black goo, it's deeper. It's more insidious, like affecting the joints and things like that. And I apologize if I do forget things sometimes because I am targeted and I do have Morgellons and I also have ADHD. But anyway, the Morgellons and the targeting make my ADHD a lot worse. So let's see, we got the stickers. And then, dots on cans. I thought I brought over all the cans. I dropped the can. So anyway, dots on cans. You'll see that there's different color dots on the bottoms of cans. And the different color dots correspond to the type of nano that's going into it. I looked up, what is the dot on the bottom of a can for? I'm gonna grab that can so I have one example, but and it said it's what machine produces it, so they will know if something happens health-wise, what machine produced it so they can put out a health warning. Okay, that's BS because I've had cases of stuff with all different color dots on the bottoms of the cans. And some cans have no dots. And in certain parts of town, there will be a lot more cans with no dots, okay? And I know because I always get the cans with no dots. I always look when I get something. I always get cans with no dots, which is, I know I'm not supposed to drink Rockstar with Morgellons, but I love Rockstar, and I'm able to drink it and have it not really affected me that much. But you can see the blue dot on the bottom of that one. Now, if I do get, like, say, a case of something and there's dots on it, brake cleaner. Brake cleaner is amazing. I always have brake cleaner around. You can use it to get the dots off of cans. You can use it to get dots like this off of, like, say, your car. If you start to, if you feel like your seat in your car is infectious and you look under there. Take a flashlight and look under there. You probably see certain things that are infecting it, like a dot or a line on different screws of different colors. Under your hood, they'll put dots and lines on things and rings on things. I'll remove them and then they'll reappear, like literally, so they have it going in your car. Because I don't know about you, but my cars crap out and start running crappy pretty quickly, and rust accumulates on them a lot faster. And there's been times I wasn't able to get my lug nuts off because they were nanoed on, and I used something that pulled the nano out, and then it came off, and even a big guy couldn't get it off before that. Anyway, it's very much a part of everything that we're experiencing in our day in life. So that being said, okay, so like I talked about the lines. So for instance, the arrows. So you can use the arrows to your advantage. Like on the underside of a bill of a hat, you can point the arrow out. But they also use stitching, and the stitching is, I've learned from, like, the stuff they have now, they've ramped stuff up. It's stitching everything. It can put stitching in the floor. I have pictures of stitches actually in the wood on my floor from my under my crawl space. I can look up, and the bottom of the floor has stitching in it. And I've heard the tenants rolling something that sounds like, those markers they roll when they do like football and stuff, or that count the stuff for surveyors. That's what it sounded like above my head, and I'm watching the stitching appear, okay? But they do that with the clothing. There's like this thing they'll add into the neckline that usually matches the clothing and stuff, and it will make the whole shirt infectious. And I was like, I was finding it on all my clothes, but then it was on none of my partner's clothes. And hers all pulled and felt great, and mine felt terrible. And I don't know if it was doing it to make me isolate myself and accuse her of targeting me, or because it was true. But I'm still trying to figure that out. I want to believe that. Anyway, so, and you got to remember that too. So you got to look at everything, and things will start to click, and you'll remember things. But like packs of cigarettes can be set up a certain way so that they don't infect you. And I figured that out because my partner had a coat in the middle of the closet that had 2 packs of cigarettes in it. One was normal, and one had a very specific way that the pack was done up. I'll do that in a future video. I don't have that ready next to me. And I smoked one of them, and it made me feel so good. It made it feel like my lungs were uninfecting out of this pack that they do a certain way. And then I had posted how to do that on my channel page that I have on Facebook, Morgellons, A Free Guide to Healing. And one of the people messaged me and said, oh my gosh, I thought my boyfriend was targeting me. He had his pack of cigarettes set up that way. And so, you know, if you're living with somebody who's targeting you, roommates with somebody who's targeting you, you're never going to get uninfected if they're in your home, because they're going behind you and they're doing tiny little things that are going to keep your stuff infectious no matter what you do. You know, I mean, all they have to do is shine their light at it for a few minutes, their infectious light, which I've seen some very infectious ones. I've gone through crazy stuff. So I've learned by observation. And anyway, so shapes matter too. Hexagons are very specific. Hexagons pull the nano out. They go to the hexagon. So like chairs with hexagons on it, products with hexagons on it, they will pull the nano out of you. It's great. And let's see, other shapes, like, okay, circle, it goes through the circle. So if there's a circle on, say I want to get the blue nano or just general nano out of the house, I can put it. So I would use different colors. I would do like blue, green, yellow, and orange are and red. Those are ones you definitely want to use. Those are ones that are big time being used. And I think yellow helps to pull both the green and the orange out, but I'm not positive about that. So I do yellow, green, and orange. But anyway, a circle. So say I was feeling like my house was really bugging me. My head was buzzing. Okay, for those who are targeted. I was feeling like I was twisting up for those who have Morgellons. And I'd put a circle on the inside of the window in blue, green, orange, yellow, and it's going to go through that circle and outside, right? Okay. Now, likewise, a dot, okay, like a dot, a filled in dot, like a filled in circle. They go into, like, they come out it, okay? So like if I put the dot on the inside of my window, they would come into the house. But if I put the dot on the outside of the window, they're going to go out of the house. But you got to remember they're going through that dot too. So make sure you put it someplace where you're not walking in front of all the time, because that's directly where they're going through. That's why the lines are better. So I like to put 2 parallel lines on the outside of my window. That means don't go into the house. Okay. Now, if I put it on the inside of my window, it would mean don't leave my house. Okay, so I guess I did that. See, and sometimes I'm a little backwards. So I guess with the parallel lines on the outside of the house, you would want it. I'm talking on the inside of the fence. That's where I made the mistake. I put the lines on the inside of the fence. That meant stay in the yard. You know, don't leave the yard. So it would be on the inside of the structure that it's on. So directly on the outside of the house would most likely probably go into the house. I record to see if I'm right or not, and you can see because it'll be going in the direction and building up in the direction that it's at. Sometimes it takes a minute because it's really heavy on both sides. If it was a really infected area, you know, it's moving that infection out, that heavy out to the next area. So once it starts to calm down a little bit, you can tell better what's going on. You're going to see little white entities, black entities, the gray and brown ones. Those are the mixed ones. So the mixed entities, the evil ones, the ones that are causing the damage, that are doing the targeting, some people feel violated at night, things like that. Those are the mixed entities that they're making. They're moving things around your home. They're getting into your computer. They're, wait, real quick, talking about getting into your computer. Things that are infected with nano and stuff, any of these things, because all of them have nano in it, because it's so nano size, it can pack so much in there. They're super heavy. So I don't know if you've ever noticed your laptop get lighter or heavier. It's because you set it someplace that was super infected and now it got heavier, and then you set it someplace where it was getting stuff pulled out of it, so now it got lighter. And that being said, there's places you can go for relief outside. I literally had a cell phone that broke, and I was without a phone for like 2 weeks. It was during all this time. They've been hitting me hard. And I knew it was the nano stuff because I'd been removing some of the things that were infecting. Long story. But anyway, so the manhole covers you'll notice manhole covers at gas stations, especially like Speedway, Holiday, any of the big gas stations. You'll notice near the diesel pumps, there's always different colored lids on the manhole covers. That's to pull that kind of nano out of you. You can go over and stand on those things and so much relief. You can pull your car over it. It'll make your car run better. It's pulling that nano out of it. I went there with my cell phone. I could get my cell phone to work when it wouldn't work anywhere else. And it would pull rocks and shit out of my cell phone, like little pieces of sand and hairs and stuff. I mean, seriously. This is serious. You can go on there and take off your shoes and your socks, and if it's a good spot to do. Oh my gosh. Some gas stations will be assholes about it if there's a targeter working, and they'll send out a security guard to tell you to move when there's nobody there and you're not causing any problems. There's no reason to have to move. You're not really doing anything but standing there. Anyway, but they have different colored ones. You're going to want to stand on each color one too, and you'll find one will give you more relief than the other. That's because you have more of that type of thing inside of you than the other. Likewise, I have a piece of this because we found it one day out on the street when they were redoing a street. This stuff's amazing. This stuff pulls hard. It's like crosswalks. Oh my gosh, so much relief. I can rub my foot up and down it if I have spots that are hurting, and it'll pull out little rocks and stuff, literally. So I've sat out there with my pets on those things. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. Cement though and stuff pulls. The things that pull, the one thing that pulls the hardest is like the boxes I was talking about that have the pole with the siren looking thing on top. They have the lighting metal, the metal that says lighting on it or whatever, next to lights, street lights, things like that. They pull hard. So do sewer poles. Those metal things like that pull really hard. Connex units pull hard. You can stand against those and it'll pull the energy from you. But the ones that are the best are the ones that are the metal manhole covers, and and it's not a manhole cover, I guess it'd be a lighting cover. The ones that are biggest next to the box. I have one right on the side of my house. Now it sends stuff to my house on the other side, but I can go to that side and oh my gosh, it's amazing. And they try to let it get covered with dry grass and the soil, and I'll pull it off. They used to keep it nice and clean, but now they don't because they don't want it to suck up the stuff they're trying to get to me, right? Okay, so we've got the dots on cans, shapes and lines, and there's a lot more to shapes and lines. I'm going to be going over a lot more in depth on this stuff in future episodes. I'm just trying to give you the basics. And when you're looking at packaging, I have here words targeted relief. Okay, so like with things for the body, they'll put on there targeted relief, and show like a spot on the body where it's targeted relief. These are not coincidences, people. I'm telling you, you will get relief out of it if you get it for that area. Just make sure that you keep these items with you if they're super important, because if you leave it at home, it will most likely get altered, and that's serious too. So I have a few things like my laptop that I always take with me, never leave at home. My laptop and my Milwaukee light, those are my two most important things because I can always use this light to uninfect things. And the second one will actually help to pull the stitching out that they put into things, and you'll actually see the stitching dissolve, the bad stitching. If you see stitches and strings on things, sometimes that's a place that they've definitely done some stitching on your stuff. So likewise, like this can, when I put it on the floor, aerosol cans too, they'll pull the stuff out of the floor. If you have a floor that's hurting your feet, no matter what you do, put an aerosol can on it. This one will pull the red out. Okay. And likewise, go to the top. It's going to also let a little bit of red out of the top. So you want to point it in a direction that you don't want it to go. Although it has the hexagon there, and this is for men because they like to attack women more than men. This one is actually a really good one just to have the can, even because you can hold onto the can, you can feel it suck stuff out of your body. Oh my God, it's amazing. The can can even be sideways on the floor. You can put the can on a shelf of your bathroom items. It'll help to keep the other stuff uninfected. Okay. And then this one I like because it has the lock on it. And if you put it in the lock position, nothing's going to come out of the cap. A lot of them don't have that. Like you'll see the scrubbing bubbles is going to have the blue and the green top. So that means that blue, a little bit of blue will come out of the top. Not much. It's going to pull in more than it's going to let come out. It's better. These are amazing. So you want to maybe point it towards the window or towards the wall. Just watch the way you point it. This one's amazing. Those scrubbing bubbles gets the the entity out of things that, and it literally makes up the surface of it. Like literally, you've cleaned and scrubbed the floor. I have a video on my Morgellons page, which I'll have to put on this page because it's pretty impressive, of the stuff swimming on the floor to the can and leaving the floor. And it does the same thing it did the same thing to my foot when I didn't have the can on the floor. It was going to my foot to go into my foot, but when I put the can on the floor, it went to the can instead and came out of my foot, and the floor got darker where my foot was. So, anyway, scrubbing bubbles is an amazing thing though. And so likewise, they've come out with a lot of these new 24-hour, they'll say protects you for, I had one that, anyway, I couldn't find before the video, but it says protects for 27 hours. These new body sprays, they exist for a reason, and they're different colors for a reason. And there's one that says all colors on it. Okay, that means it's going to protect you from all colors for 27 hours. Okay, seriously, these are not coincidence. Okay, and you'll find if you put the body spray all over your body, you'll feel a lot better for a long length of time. Like petroleum-based things and stuff help to not allow it to build on your skin. So those will, like if I find an area is twisting up, I can put that on there. Hairs pop out sometimes. I like the Aquaphor is a really good one. I also make a body butter that breaks down the layers in addition to protecting you, and it significantly breaks down the layers. I've had a lot of excellent, amazing responses from it. It's Morgellons Body Armor. You can go to morgellonsbodyarmor.com or go to the, anyway, I sell it on, what's the one? Shopify. You can go to Shopify and punch in Morgellons Body Armor, and that's where it's at. I tried to make it as affordable as possible. Have it in the hexagon jars. I had a jar over here. But all I've gotten from people is amazing feedback. Actually, my mom said she's gotten rid of scars that she had for like 20 years. And so, anyway, it's amazing stuff. It's helped me break down layers. But the additional part that you need to it is using the Mr. Clean sponge and the things that are going to pull out that black goo stuff, because it mostly pulls out the nano part and breaks down the nano part, which is the layers of the nano part, because it's finely interwoven. I think of it as a high count thread sheet, and it's just woven it, layer after layer after layer, nano sized. So there's so many layers, and they've building systems in the layers. That's why old scarring can go away. My face used to have so much brown scarring on it. I've gotten rid of almost all of it at this point. I've had this crease here will come and go as it's coming to me and going, but like things like this cap will help a lot. Like I can see a little hair that popped out of my head right there. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. It's hard. You can kind of a little bit, but anyway. So you can get little cans, which they have the little cans of like the yellow one's good. That I don't know, that yellow fragrance. You find them in the Walmart aisle in the cheap, they're like $1 or something. And you can put the little can in the little pocket on your purse and backpack, and it will suck the nano stuff into it instead of infecting your bag. But bags are very interesting, and there's a lot to them, and bags are heavily used by targeters. They can significantly infect or uninfect things, and there is a lot of properties to them that are strange. And so I'll do bags in another episode. But bags can uninfect things, can infect things, can uninfect an entire room, can uninfect an entire room. Bags are major. So, even if you have somebody living with you who's got bags, or if they put their shoes by your front closet door, that's what one of the targeters did to me, kept putting his shoes by the front closet door. He was filling the closet with like this fog and I could open it and I could just feel it start to twist me up. Opening anything I put on from the closet was like infectious. And so, but it was pulling it out up into the shoe. He never wore those shoes, but it was pulling it up to go into the closet. Okay, so see, that's how they can, just by setting a backpack down and having one pouch open that's a specific pouch, they can have this stuff coming out and infecting your area. It's nano. It's just following what it was programmed to follow. And there's so many different, it's programmed, everything is significant, I'm telling you. I almost know too much. Like, I don't want to know as much as I know. But you try some of these things and you'll see that I know what I'm talking about. This stuff can help a lot, and you're going to see this kind of stuff popping up. I have a video I did earlier today that was like a can of instant coffee that I bought that had a sticker added on it that looked funky and had some dirt. You zoom in on it, it's like nano pouring out of it, going into the can, and on the other side even of the aluminum peel-off part, it was penetrating through the other side even at that point. Because nano can go through, you know, anything. It just is moving, like you say, moving molecules to make it liquid so it can go through it and letting it go back to what it was before as it penetrates and goes through. Likewise, it's that swarm mentality, you know, like when people, like when they fly overhead and people have stood together to form a word or something, you know, they can go in groups to form bigger things that are more visible on the camera, or more visible, so they can group to swarms of them can make a bigger thing and be one big thing, but it's many tiny things all working together. Okay. So do I have anything else out that I was looking at? The colors all, like I said, mean something, and each color goes with different types of nano. I'm going to do colors on another one because it totally goes into it, but the red is what they use to extract the black goo from the earth. The blue corresponds with the white, which is the nano that's in the universe, because there was nano that was universally present before all this. That's the natural nano. But then you combine them, that's when you have the green and the orange. Those are the combined stuff, the brown, the grays, and you'll start to notice on different items, like I have a pet hair one that has a hexagon on the end and a gray handle, and it has the hexagon tip pointing that way, and so the nano's going that way, but some of it was going, the gray was going into the handle to infect the owner. So as you're brushing your dog, you know, at least mine was set up that way now. Maybe from the store it infects the owner too, because they can change things. Like I said, if you notice something funky and feeling funky, you got to start looking for these things. And once you get your environment set up right, then you'll notice right away, because you've got it so that, like, oh, it feels so good. It's so relieving. After the last time I got hit hard, I got rid of everything that had to do with the person who I thought was attacking me, which I believe, anyway. And oh my God, it changed everything. And I got rid of all my clothes. Felt terrible. I couldn't even put them on. They were twisting me up. I got rid of all my dishware. All my dishes were pulling the energy in. So one way you can tell with pulling too is put your hand on one side of it, and if you feel it swelling and it just, or you'll feel a lot of relief, and you'll see actually hairs sometimes coming out the other side, or things coming from. So I use myself to tell. And if I'm unsure in one area, I could put it up to like an area that's sore or swollen or inflamed, and you can tell real quick in those areas. Let's see, we did the electricity, ground wires, we talked about Clifford, Carnicombe, Harold Kotz, Gaia. I don't know if I mentioned Gaia. It's a great channel for information though. They're not monitoring everything and censoring everything. So it's a really good one. I'm just trying to think of the app that I'm sure you guys know, the one that has videos that are actually Rumble. Rumble's a great one for videos that are uncensored, that are like done by scientists researching this, talking about vaccines and all the I mean, because it's all connected. And let's see, footwear. I'm gonna have to go over footwear because there's a lot to footwear, but check your footwear out before you get it. And then, you know, you leave it at home and they alter it sometimes and make it super infectious, because our feet are the best place to infect us, because it's coming straight in from the ground up, and the world's set up for them to draw the stuff in certain areas and put nano into us in other areas based on the footwear we are wearing. So because they're using us as transport devices for the black goo also. There's so much to it. I mean, they're raping Mother Earth of this black goo. They're combining it with other things. They use it in supercomputers. Like I said, Harold Kutzvella talks a lot about it, so you can understand more about black goo. And it's like the memories. It's the essence of Mother Earth. They're raping Mother Earth of her essence of love. You know, it's the transhumanists want to travel through space, and so they're trying to take away the heart chakra, because they can't travel with the heart chakra. Harold Kutzvella talks about that too. You know, I mean, that's why they're capable of doing things that you couldn't even imagine, you know. And if you look up whistleblowers on YouTube, there's a lot of whistleblowers now that are coming forward ever since they have more laws to protect whistleblowers, that are talking about some bad stuff that's being done by our government. And like I said, the shadow government, not our elected government specifically, although right now is a pretty crazy time. But like I was saying, lights. So let's see, I've taken all the stickers off my Milwaukee light, but there's certain flashlights that are amazing, that heal. I have one light that, oh my gosh, that was the first one that I really got a lot of relief with, because it was pulling the black goo out, and I was using the pieces of old asphalt. I had a piece I was going to bring by the video. I'm not going to leave the video to go get it, but where they're redoing like a public parkway or something, they'll have it chunked out in the corner, or if you're in a parking lot that's falling apart, the older asphalt really pulls that black goo out hard. You can put it on there. Oh, it'll get gooey. It'll turn gooey on the surface. Like, it'll literally pull it out like that. And like, especially with my head shaved, I could get so much of it out. I was getting out of the bathtub after using the light with the black goo with bleach in it, because bleach kills it. I put it in a spray container, and I can spray like the yard and stuff. The bleach will kill that black, the entities that they're mixing. I have a video of being downstairs of spraying it in the air that I put on my other channel. I'll have to share some of these videos on this channel. And they just dissolve. You'll see that I have videos from years back. I haven't been on this channel in a while. My videos from years back are when I was first starting to discover this. I didn't know exactly what was going on, and so every time I figure anything out, I was posting it. And this is going on a different. I know now. I figured it out. So, and nano is heavy. I don't think I said that, but I hope not. But anyway, nano's really heavy. So if you notice like your laptop's heavier, then there's probably a lot of nano in it. I did say that. Sorry. I'm not trying to repeat myself. Well, you'll know that one well. Anyway, the stitching, the colors. Oh, that's why, okay, like with different colors lights, that's why red light therapy works so well for joints and deep stuff, because it's pulling that black goo part out that really affects us deeply, that affects our organs and our joints more. That black goo stuff is that part that makes us feel that deeper sick. We don't notice it coming out as much because it's not that immediate relief of the nano. The nano, we know, it's that immediate pain or that immediate relief. The insidious thing that makes longer term health problems, that's deeper, that's that black goo. And so, and then, universal laws, they exist. So you have to claim your property. That's a big part of this. Claim everything. I have the right to free will. This is a universal law. I do not allow any AI or nano on my property. I do not allow any evil intentions on my property, no witchcraft or sorcery of any kind. I have the universal law behind me that protects me and my free will on my land with my items, and I do not allow any AI or any nano or any entity that is made with or of AI or nano to cause any harm on my property. All nano that is put here with an evil intent and all AI with an evil intent must leave now. And you'd be surprised, it really clears out significantly. It helps a ton. And I've actually even had some of the nano like rebuild, like with the foundation, like, because I couldn't believe it the first time I did it. Like, it literally started to fix the ground that was falling. It was because AI and nano has to follow universal laws, because AI existed before the earth, nano existed before the earth. I mean, I'm a heavily spiritual person, but the deeper you delve into these things, you'll realize that spiritualism is so real, and it's a knowing. It's not like religion where you believe. It's a knowing. It's a deep knowing, and you just know. I mean, and quantum physics has proven the spiritual realm. That's why the CIA's and all these shadow agencies have put so much funding into it. You know, Obama put a lot of funding into mapping out the brain so that they could hit each part of the brain, and they knew, you know, like with a targeted person, they could make them all of a sudden sexually excited, or all of a sudden really scared or sad or angry, because they're trying to use the hexagons that have come out of a lot of people with glitter, with Morgellons, to transmit that energy to the 100 people closest to them, and therefore make them all act the way that they're making that one person act. Or if that one person's acting crazy, use it to transmit it to the 100 and make them all act crazy. It's Harold Kotzvella talks about that as well. But that's one of the reasons that they're using those nano crystals in the, you know, so with the vehicles, we talked about with the vehicles, so use that brake cleaner to get that off those vehicles. I always have a microfiber rag, and or the sponge, the Mr. Clean sponge, and the brake cleaner, and you can get it. It'll just come right off, really easy. Other stuff, sometimes you can't get it off with anything but that. And then let's see, we talked about those. Yeah, I think that's a good basic start. So, you know, just pull those stickers off of your items. Any zip ties or anything like that that you notice pop up on an item or that comes with the tag, take that off. They can use that. If you can't figure out what's going wrong in your area, light bulbs. They love to fuck with light bulbs and change light bulbs out and do things with light bulbs. So check your light bulb, or just take it out, and all of a sudden it'll feel better. And if you go get new light bulbs and pay attention to what brand you get, you can see if they're changed out. And then likewise, if it's really bugging you and you've cleaned it off, and I've used sandpaper to get the writing off, because sometimes they'll shine a light at it, infuse the paint with the nano so that it's coming out. Wipe it with the bleach, Clorox bleach rag. Those are great. Anyway, I put a colored dot on the whatever color I see, because you can kind of tell what color they're trying to hit you with, which right now the big one's orange. It was just green. So now they've switched to orange. And I think that's pretty much universally. Oh, because Dr. Virtual 7 too. Check him out on YouTube. He's got frequencies that you can play if you feel like you're being hit hard, targeted, or have Morgellons. They have ones for Morgellons people, for targeted people, ones for sorcery spells, ones for everything, for Black Cube Cult, and their frequencies that help to alleviate what they're doing. And he's always got the newest one coming out that seems to match what's going on. Dr. Virtual and then 7. And he's helped me a lot when I was really sick and had a lot more fluid. I used to have sores all over my face. I used to have half my hair gone. I've come a long way. And I'm doing really well. Like I said, I hardly ever get buzzing in my head. I keep it at bay, but I have to make sure I keep my environment from getting me infected, because I can get reinfected. And so if they want it to, they can make it happen pretty fast if you don't know what's going on and what you're doing. So, and having that no fear. Don't let them scare you. The fear feeds it. You know, we got to stay at these high frequencies that are of love and light like we are. So, you know, making sure that we're not allowing that fear to feed it. We are love and light. They're using us. They're energy vampires. They're using us as their energy source. You know, we are the ones. We're the canaries in the coal mine. We're the test groups. So anyway, I think that's enough for this video. I didn't even realize I talked for over an hour, and that's the basics. So love, light, and healing to all of you. Peace.